Okay. All right, folks, ready? Go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Welcome everyone. My name is Justin Camilleri, and I'm going to be presenting today about United Technologies. They're a very integral part of our world today. They run Otis elevators, they have military contracts for aircrafts. They're very involved, but one of their main focuses is on food waste. So let's talk trash. On average, how many people here would say that you've thrown out food that you didn't completely eat? It happens a lot. You get too much food, something's not refrigerated properly, you gotta throw it out. But what we don't realize is that food waste is an actual epidemic. There's a growing concern about food loss and waste throughout the United States. Just think about 90 billion pounds of food is wasted. That's completely useless food. And there are still people starving in the streets in Syracuse. We're basically throwing away enough food to feed our entire planet. The way we systematically waste food and these challenges is a direct result of poor planning and poor system integration for how to produce and save this food. So this is basically one of the main missions of United Technologies. They run a huge refrigeration corporation that is actually the main part of UTC. And what they do is they run semis and tractor trailers that are completely cool to make sure that food can last longer, that it doesn't get thrown away, and it helps to aid in the food problem. They actually wrote a book. Their CEO, John Van Dyke, wrote Food Smart, which is basically a guide on how to stop wasting food, how to make sure that you help protect our environment, and other ways in which you can just do things at home, like freeze-drying food, or getting a high-grade refrigerator, making sure that you have OnStar appliances or Energy Star appliances that are completely useful and completely energy efficient to protect your food. How you can help? Like I said before, trying to get involved in every home possible is crucial. Trying to make sure that people are saving the food that they can. You're not overbuying. You're not going out and getting things that are perishable in bulk. And you're also focusing on trying to make meals that are more adequately sized portion-wise, not throwing out the half plate full of leftovers and actually just having one sitting. Why you should care? The impacts of food loss and waste of food, one of the single largest component going into our landfills today. Landfills are a huge problem. There's some in Albany and just here in New York. They smell. They're terrible. You can smell them from miles away. There's huge amounts of garbage in food, and they contribute all over the world. But in all honesty, 80% of what you find in landfills is just food waste. And that's food that could have been used for something else, maybe feeding a starving kid. So my end mission here is to make sure that everybody's aware of what it means to be aware of what is food waste, the way it helps to contribute to our environmental stability, and the ways in which we can, as a whole, support United Technologies and their mission to end food waste. Thank you.
Did you know that it costs 1.8 cents to make a penny that basically is worth 1 cent? By show of hands, listen. How many of you stopped to pick up a penny in the past few months? That's exactly what I Hi, my name is Mohit Gupta, and I'll talk tonight about how pennies should be eliminated and why they should be eliminated. Making pennies costs the government a lot of money. It costs the government 0.79 cents more than it's worth, which is why in 2014 the United States government went into the loss of $55 million just from the manufacture of pennies. Pennies waste time. When we go to a store and we use cash, we usually accept or pay some pennies as change in a transaction, which usually just weighs the pockets down and makes us waste time in counting their money. Pennies are also toxic. Pennies are made of 97% of zinc, which is a substance that releases carcinogens such as lead and cadmium during its mining and refining. Pennies are also inconvenient. When you go to a store, there's basically nothing you can buy with a single penny. If you try to pay a bunch of pennies at once and try to buy something, you usually get bad looks from the cashier and the other people standing around. Some people argue that pennies actually keep costs low, so they shouldn't be eliminated. I disagree. Basically, adding a cent or two to your cost does not really add any inflationary pressure to the prices. And at the same time, not all stores when they discontinue pennies, they don't always round up. Most of them round down to the nearest nickel, which doesn't really raise costs. It actually helps bring costs down. Take for example Canada. Canada eliminated their pennies in 2013, and since then inflation hasn't gone more than 3%, which is much lower than the historical average. Why eliminate pennies? Eliminating pennies will help save the government a lot of money. It will reduce inconvenience and wastage of time, and it might also help protect the environment. I think the individuals and businesses are the ones who can start the process of eliminating pennies. You don't really need laws for it. If a business stops accepting pennies, starts rounding down, people won't really need to carry pennies. In which case, banks will stop supplying pennies, and they won't be minted anymore. Thank you. That was the end of the question.
Escape. There we go. What's the issue?
It's like this screen is
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sam Greer, and I'm here to talk about why LL Bean is one of the best companies to work for. So, does anyone know how old LL Bean is?
15 years.
Actually, it's 103 years old. Making it one of the most stable in its industry. They also had $1.6 billion in revenue, and for their over 5,000 employees, they had a turnover rate of just 3%. So, if you're worried about job security, LL Bean is the place for you. They also offer many benefits for employees, starting with 40% off for all of the clothing, which is great because they have so many different lines of clothing. They also offer college tuition reimbursement for employees seeking business degrees, which just proves how much they care about their employees. They also have a non-discriminatory policy, which creates a diverse workforce. They even make sure that their employees have fun by sponsoring adventurous trips such as sea kayaking, snowshoeing, and camping. And they also do paid time off for volunteering just because they care about the community that much. One of their main competitors is Persuasive, and I'm not gonna lie, they're also another great company to work for. They follow a lot of the same initiatives and truly care about their employees, but they lack in the stability that LL Bean has. They're about half as old, and last year they only had $600 million in revenue. Overall, LL Bean has a storied history, and they've created a great work atmosphere. But most importantly, they care about their employees. They understand that their business won't thrive unless their employees thrive. So they do their best to make sure they're happy. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you now understand why LL Bean is the best place for you.
I'm not sure. I have Connor, Ryan. Ruby. Sorry, you may see we're running a little bit late, and the reason is because most of these are going well beyond the time slot.
Hello everyone, I'm Connor. I'm going to ask you a pretty fundamental question. Do you want money? But I thought, who doesn't want money? Now, a wise man once told me that you want to do as little as possible for as much as possible, which can be translated into you want to make the most per hour for doing the least amount of work. Now, I'm going to show you how you can do that right here on campus. Syracuse University Food Services. The pay starts at $10.20 an hour, which is the highest on campus. You won't find it anywhere better. Now, if you're worried your schedule might conflict, there are upwards of 8 shifts a day, ranging from 2 hours to 4 hours, and you get 1 complimentary meal per shift you work. If you play your cards right, you can sneak in an extra one. Now, once you're on the job, it's a pretty simple uniform. A black shirt, which you're provided, and a hat, which you're also provided, and then pants, which I kind of hope you have. Anyways, now it's easy work. You're not doing anything laborious. Sure, you might have to make like 100 sandwiches, but I mean, that's not that hard. It's a friendly environment. You're working with your peers. The commercial workers are all pretty chill. And if you want to make more money, you can pick up extra shifts. People are always looking to drop them because they want their shifts covered. Now, if you have to cover your shift, you're working with upwards of 80 employees, depending on which setting you work at. So it's really easy for somebody to cover your shift. You don't want to go home for the weekend. You have an exam you need to study for. And that's why you guys should pick Syracuse Food Services when you're applying for jobs on campus. That's all.
Good one. That was your picture of the checker.
Hello everyone, my name is Lucy Collado, and I know Brooke talked about studying abroad, and I wanna know how many in this room, how many of you guys have never studied abroad? That's a couple of you guys. So I wanna start off to asking what does it mean to study abroad? So it means to attend school and live with students from your host country, to be able to travel the world every weekend, go to a different city. To learn a different language and to embrace the unknown. Just because you'll be in a whole different city with a whole different people, different cultures. There's a common misconception about studying abroad. People like to say you can't afford it. There's a lot of different types of programs and that cost different. And it's all up to you, and it all comes down to planning and being able to give yourself enough time to maybe apply for scholarships and things like that. So another thing that people like to say is that they don't speak a foreign language, so they wouldn't be able to get around. The whole point is being able to learn a different language. Also, people say, oh, you'll get too homesick. You can always call or Skype your family. People also like to say that they'll have time to travel after they graduate. Most likely, if you have a full-time job, you only get 2 weeks or 2 weeks twice a year to be able to travel. You'll never get 4 months. To just literally study and just travel the world. And, I won't know anyone abroad. That's why you'll be able to get to know people, and other people are in the same situation just as you. So, the whole thing about studying abroad that I learned, I myself went abroad last semester. I studied in Spain. And a part of that is, you will be able to experience personal growth. You'll become more independent, self-reliant, and you'll gain an understanding of your own personal beliefs in comparison to others. And your outlook on life will completely change. You would be able to advance your career because you'll be able to stand out compared to other job candidates because you'll have international experience. And the type of skills you will be able to develop abroad could be cross-cultural communication, tolerance, and independence. Another thing that you would be able to learn is you'll be able to broaden your worldview, which along with that, it comes more of like exposure to new cultures, and you'll become more sophisticated with you'll be more sophisticated with your worldview, and you'll diversify your thoughts and your beliefs. So if you said yes, I would say to speak to an academic or a study abroad academic. They'll tell you the requirements. They'll try to help you out so you can be able to take the courses that you need abroad and won't stay behind. You should create a budget sheet. That's big. I created a budget sheet to allow me to travel the places that I want to travel and stay on track. And do your research. The research on where is it that you want to go. What is it that you want to learn? What is it that you're seeking? So if you guys said yes, then I did my job here today. Thank you. And studying abroad will be one of the most incredible and worthwhile things you do in your life. So don't be afraid to take that leap.
Right?
There's only. Does that mean how much long is left?
Yeah.
So it's only gonna record that much.
I'm not gonna make it through one last one. Yeah.